Hey, what's going on, guys? Team Fusion here, back with another video. And in today's video, I have my Sacred Beast deck. Now, I will admit, this deck used to be terrible, and then we got new support from a structure deck, and the deck became really, really good. So anyway, let's get into it. First things first, I run 3 Chaos Summoning Beasts. His effect is you can tribute him to special summon one of the Sacred Beasts from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions, which is really, really good. Because, you can easily get a big monster out with, 4,000 attack points, just like that. And it also has a graveyard effect, where you can banish it to search Fallen Paradise, which is this deck's field spell. Next up, 3 Dark Beckoning Beast. His effect, when he's normal summoned, search a Sacred Beast, or a card that lists the Sacred Beasts, which is a lot of the cards in this deck. But also, his effect also lets you get an extra normal summon / set for a Fiend monster who has 0 attack and defense. Next up, 3 Chaos Core. I run Chaos Core to help you set up your graveyard. So when an effect is activated that targets him or he's targeted for an attack, you can send 1 copy of each Sacred Beast from your deck to your graveyard. You don't have to send all 3, you can send 1 or whatever. But, you can stop yourself from taking battle damage, you can stop his destruction. But mainly, if you send all 3, you can use this deck's fusion spell to summon Armatile, which is your boss monster of the deck. Next up, I have 2 Dark Summoning Beast. His effect, you can tribute him to summon a Sacred Beast from your hand, but you can't attack that same turn, which, that's whatever, but you get a strong monster out. He has a graveyard effect where you can banish him from your graveyard to search any Sacred Beast. Alright, getting into the actual Sacred Beasts themselves. 2 copies of Yugioh, Lord of Phantasms. Pretty normal effect. When your opponent normal summons, you can summon a token to your side of the field. And you can also tribute a monster you control. He gains attack points equal to the tributed monster. Which, I don't really use that much. Next up, 2 Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder. I'm sorry, I didn't go into the summoning, how you summon him. His effect, tribute 3 Fiends to summon him. Next up, Haman, Lord of Striking Thunder. Summon him by tributing 3 face-up continuous spells. His effect, when he destroys a monster by battle, your opponent takes 1,000 points of damage. Also, I forgot to mention, 4,000 attack points. Yugioh also has 4,000 attack points. Pretty good. Next up, I run 2 copies of Yugioh, Lord of Searing Flames. The way you summon him, tributing 3 face-up continuous traps. He gains 1,000 attack points for each continuous trap in your graveyard. You don't really go into him that much, but still. I run 2 Radiant, the Multi-Dimensional Kaiju. Now, this card came in the structure deck that gave us the new Sacred Beast support. It's a Kaiju. It can help you get rid of your opponent's big monsters by tributing them off to summon him to your opponent's side of the field. Pretty good. Alright, finishing up the monsters. 1, Yugioh, Lord of Phantasms, Shimmering Scraper. You can summon him by tributing 3 monsters. Not Fiend monsters, by the way. He also has some pretty good effects, where, as a quick effect, discard this card, target a Yugioh, and until the end of the turn, his attack points double, which, that can help your Yugioh to climb to some high attack. He also has an effect where if he's in your graveyard, you can tribute a monster and put him back in your hand. So if you summon a token through Yugioh, tribute off that token, add this back to your hand. Getting into the spells, I run 3 Dimension Fusion Destruction. Your fusion spell, banish from your hand, field, and/or graveyard the fusion materials listed on a Phantasm monster. And what's cool about this card is that you don't take any damage from attacks involving that monster. So a thing about Armatile, it has 0 base attack points, but during your turn, it gains 10,000. But during your opponent's turn, it goes back down to 0. So Armatile already can't be destroyed by battle. So this card helps you take no battle damage, which is really cool. Another search card I run, 3 Opening of the Spirit Gates. When it's activated, you can search a Sacred Beast or a monster that specifically lists the Sacred Beasts. Also has a second effect where you can discard a card, special summon a Fiend with 0 attack and defense, which can help, summon Chaos, Summoning Beast, Dark Beckoning Beast, all that. Next up, I run 2 of their field spell, Fallen Paradise. Your opponent cannot target the Sacred Beast or Armor Tile you control with card effects, and they can't be destroyed by card effects. So that's some good protection right there. It also has an effect where if you control at least one of the Sacred Beasts, you can draw 2 cards, which, you know, that's pretty good. I do suggest running 3. I actually don't have a 3rd copy. So next up, 2 copies of Cerulean Skyfire. And when I said about Hamon's summoning thing, where you have to tribute 3 face-up continuous spells, this card allows you to tribute face-down spell cards instead. You don't have to tribute continuous spells, which is pretty good. It also can, if you control a face-up Hamon, you can negate any spell or trap and then switch it to defense mode, which, you know, that little extra bit of negation is pretty cool. Getting into the one-ofs for the spells, 1 Mound of the Bound. If you want to run 3 Fallen, I suggest taking out Mound of the Bound. Monster Reborn for obvious reasons, Terraforming to search your field spell, Foolish Burial to send some of your monsters to the graveyard to use their graveyard effects, 1 for 1 to get Chaos Summoning Beast out, and just 1 copy of Supply Squad to help you draw some cards if your monsters get destroyed. Alright, let's get into some of the trap cards. Probably one of the best cards we got from this structure deck. 3, Awakening of the Sacred Beasts. So this card gains effects based on how many of the Sacred Beasts you control. So if you control 1, if your opponent summons a monster at all, you gain life points equal to their attack points. 2, negate the effects of all monsters your opponent controls, which is really, really cool. And then any monster sent to your graveyard or opponent's graveyard is banished instead. So basically it's a Dark Law effect. This card's pretty dang good. Wrapping up the main deck, 1 copy of Hyperblaze. This is Uriah's card. And his thing, in order to summon Uriah, you can tribute face-down traps, kind of like Cerulean Skyfire, where you can tribute face-down spells. This one lets you do face-down traps. This also has a really cool effect, where you can send 1 trap from your hand, deck, or graveyard from deck to the graveyard. One of your Uriah gains 1,000 times the number of continuous spells, face-up or in the graveyard, which can help. Next, once per turn, you can discard a card to special summon 1 of the Sacred Beasts, ignoring summoning conditions. Last but not least, for the extra deck, I have 2 Armor Tile, the Chaos Phantasm, and 1 Phantasm Emperor Triljig. I don't really use Triljig that much. I mainly just go for Armor Tile, and I do run the new Armor Tile. It just has not come in yet. So for now, I have 2 copies of the original Armor Tile. So he requires the 3 Sacred Beasts, which you can summon through Dimension Fusion. And during your turn, he gains 10,000 attack points. So that's just a 10k beat stick right there. And thanks to you, if you use Fusion Destruction, the 0 attack points don't really matter here because you can just, you know, not take damage. Overall, I like this deck because you can summon big monsters super easily. I like the whole power thing it has. Alright, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for the deck, or, you know, want to tell me what you guys run, make sure to throw a comment down in the comment section. I'll respond, probably. If you subscribe, make sure to hit the notification bell so you get notified. And peace.